Running a trades business isn't just about what you build, it's about what you learn, and sometimes the hard way. It's the kind of knowledge you pick up over time and wish someone had handed you soon. Welcome to Trade Secrets, powered by Metabo HPT, a podcast series where trusted, successful tradespeople and qualified experts will share best practices, strategies, ideas, even tricks and hacks that you need to know. Think of it as another reliable tool from Metabo HPT, just not one you keep in your truck, but one that helps you run your business better. Hey everyone, welcome back to Trade Secrets powered by Metabo HPT, where we talk with everyone from seasoned trades pros to behind the scenes experts about strategies and approaches and ideas. We call them Trade Secrets that can help you grow and run your trades business. Now today, we're going to focus on AI, and there has been a ton of talk about AI in relation to the trades lately. I mean, you have CEOs of chip companies talking about the need for manpower and all these tradespeople to help build the infrastructure that's going to power AI. You've got futurists talking about how trades will be the last job standing, since they're the ones that will be the most difficult for AI to master and possibly take over. And of course, you've definitely heard a lot about how AI can help you and your business right now, today. And that's what I want to focus on during this episode, because quite frankly, using AI and getting started using AI can really get overwhelming and be a little bit intimidating. I mean, there's tons of tools, tons of platforms, tons of classes, just tons of noise. And all you really want to know is, what do I need to be doing or learning right now? And it turns out there is a skill that you need to start building or honing today, and that's prompting. And here to talk with me about why this should be your focus is Zac Engler, the Chief AI Officer at C4 Technical Services. Zac, my man, thank you so much for doing this. I can't wait to get into this.
Super excited to be here, John. And yeah, excited about the conversation. I eat, sleep, and breathe AI. So happy to elucidate and share whatever I can.
I love it. You're the guy. So first things first, maybe if you don't mind, just take a minute, tell everybody a bit about your background, your company, your role, even your experience working with trades folks like the ones who are out there watching and listening to this.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, when it comes to my career, I cut my teeth in the world of retail construction and residential construction, working with my father's business. I was the program manager calling all the subs across the country, back, before you could have AI do that for you. And so I was calling plumbers in Ohio. I was calling sheetrock guys in Colorado, and it's a mixed bag out there when you're dialing random numbers out of the phone book. So I cut my teeth and learned, how to get to brass tacks, how to get down to the nitty gritty with these guys across the country. That was a lot of fun. Fast forward 10 years, I got a career into HR, training and development, talent acquisition, started learning the ins and outs of business, going through my MBA. And that's when I kind of picked up on AI back in 2016. And I saw it was going to be bigger than the internet. I saw it was going to be like fire, like the invention of fire. And so I went to work for an AI company doing industrial robotics, was then hired on to another company building robots in Vancouver. And from there, ChatGPT launched in 2023. And I saw this opportunity to fold AI into everyday work. So like think office operations, right?
Yeah.
And it changed from this like abstract, crazy thing of machine learning to practical tools that you can use every day, whether you're an accountant, a construction project coordinator, or a marketing person. And we put those tools to the test at Sanctuary AI, where I was working at the time. We ended up saving about 600 hours worth of engineering time just by transcribing interviews and saving the notes. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, like I could do this for more than just one company. And so started started my own business, Bodhi AI, started working with small to mid-sized businesses across Minnesota and across the US to some degree. After about 6 months, a friend of mine and I bumped into each other at a conference. He happened to be the chief operating officer of C4 Tech Services, and he said he'd been looking for an AI guy to do like AI implementations, office operations implementations for over a year. And when we had a few meetings back and forth, we talked about what we could do together. It just made sense to align our forces. And so now for the last 7 months, we've been working together, rolling out AI strategy, AI training. So it's been really great to see, especially companies like nonprofits being able to cover more ground by using AI in a sustainable and scalable way. We're definitely not preaching the idea of replacing people with AI. Instead, we're trying to train teams on how to empower people with AI. And I think that's a big differentiator for a lot of what you see in the media these days.
Yeah, that's a heck of a journey. In my introduction, I mentioned we have a lot of trades business owners out there who do want to use AI in their business, and their big question is, what should I be learning or doing first? And your answer is learn to prompt. So maybe we just start with the basics. What do you mean by prompting?
Prompting is, just think of it as like how you talk to AI, right? So some people prefer to use text, some people prefer to actually like open up the voice chat and talk to the AI. But prompting is communicating with AI and telling it what you want to do. And I like to say, AI is can be really smart, but you got to know what to say. And so
Yeah.
prompting helps give you a structure for how to say that. Now you could just throw random phrases and just ask AI general questions, and you'll get general responses. That's how AI is designed. But when you start getting really specific, you start getting specific answers. And so think of it just like an intern, right? You're not going to talk to an intern at your business the same way you would talk to a tenured professional, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
when you ask them to go make copies, you literally have to like walk them over to the copy machine, be like, here's the start button, here's how you put the
Right.
paper in, right? Because they've
Got to
never
spoon
done it
feed it a little
before.
bit.
You got to
Yeah.
spoon feed it. And so AI is the same way. Although it's really, really smart and it knows a lot of information, it doesn't know how to get to that information without very specific instructions about what you want, how you want it to look, why you want it to look that way. So coloring all of that in and knowing how to talk to AI in that fashion will just empower you to get better results, just like you would get better results by giving more direction to an intern rather than just say, go figure it out. So that's kind of the essence of prompting and why it's a critical skill to learn.
So um, we now know, through this conversation, we know why prompting, we know why what it is, and we know why it's important to learn. And the obvious next question is, how does someone start getting good at this? I mean, I know that you help companies with this, so they could always just get in touch with you. There's a little bit of a shameless plug for you. But what else can they do? Walk us through the how. How do I get better at prompting?
Yeah. So the first part is just getting used to explaining what you feel is kind of the mundane. Uh, if you wake up in the morning and you put your pants on, you do it just intuitively. But if you ask somebody else to do it the exact way you do it, you'd have to get very descriptive. So getting descriptive is helpful, and understanding what are different prompt types. So there's a whole slew of different formats of how you can organize your thoughts, and that's one of the things that I teach in my courses is we've identified 15 different prompt types that are very common across the enterprise and very common across business every day to day. And in fact, there's about 3 for every division that are pretty commonly used. So there's a handful for marketing folks, there's a handful for sales folks, there's a IT, so on and so forth. So there's this idea that if you can understand what a prompt type is, you can mix and match that formula over and over again, and you don't have to memorize thousands of prompts, which people definitely want to sell you. When you get out there, you're going to see,
Sure.
buy access to my 1,000 prompt library, my 100,000 prompt library. I maybe that's helpful if you're starting from square zero, but um, oftentimes you're still having to hunt through all 1,000 prompts, and then you have to customize it to your situation after the fact. Whereas if you can learn a prompt type, it's kind of like learning how to play music, right? Once you know how to play a scale, you know how all the notes work together, and you can make some pretty amazing music. So prompt types are a very easy way for you to organize your thoughts into a clear way that AI can understand. And in fact, I'd love to walk you through one of the prompt types that's literally just 4 words. If you
As
can
many
remember.
as you want, if they're relevant to
Okay.
the if to our the people watching and listening, 100%. Go for it.
Yeah, for sure. So if you can remember these 4 words, I guarantee you're going to see an improved result from how you talk to AI, right? Because you've probably done this where you just copy paste an email that's really long and into AI, and you say, summarize this for me, right? And you'll get a
Guilty.
boilerplate summary, right? Or if you go ask AI to go search the web and research my market and tell me all my competitors in my business, you'll get a decent report, but it won't be as specific as it could be, and it probably won't give you the insights you need. So the 4 words you need to remember in order to improve your prompting capabilities is called role-based prompting. So the first word is role. Who is the AI supposed to act like, right? If you can remember the word role and you can describe who the AI is supposed to be like, you're going to be giving that specific context to the AI. It needs to be able to give you those results. So you could say, I want you to act like a marketing expert with decades of experience and knowledge in how to connect customers with our business. Or you could say, I want you to act like a legal expert that has decades of experience reviewing contracts for construction projects or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're giving the AI a mindset to get into so that it knows how to digest your information. So that's number one. Number two is task. What's the task that the AI is supposed to go do, right? So if role is the who, task is the what. What do you want me to achieve for you? That could be things like review this non-disclosure agreement and tell me if there's anything I should watch out for. Review this vendor contract and let me know if there's anything I haven't approved in the past. Go out and do a competitive analysis of the market, scrape the web for all my competitors, and tell me what they're offering that I'm not offering. Tell me what I'm offering that they're not offering. And most importantly, tell us what nobody's offering, but people are searching for, right? Uh, those types of tasks give you better results. And the more descriptive you can be, the better. So those are the first two. This third one is context. And this one's the hardest one, John. This is the one that took me like probably a couple months to get good at. But the
Okay.
context is the why. Like, why am I asking this AI to go do something for me? And so it would say, like, I'm trying to put together a competitive analysis of my market. I want to showcase this to my sales team, right? Or whatever. The
Hmm.
why behind what you're trying to accomplish just gives AI that more information so that it can give you better results. And then the last one is goal. And the idea with goal is, what's the goal of all this? Like, or more importantly, what is the output supposed to look like? I want this in an executive summary
Right.
with tables and bullet lists of all the key points. Make it easy to read, those kinds of things, right? So um, by going through the role, the task, the context, and the goal, if you can remember those 4 words, like, think about how easy it is to remember 4 words instead of 1,000 prompts, right? So if you
Yeah,
can remember
sure.
those
Yeah.
4 words, when you come up to ChatGPT or you walk up to Copilot and you start typing things in, it just gives you that framework to get much more descriptive and tell the AI a better idea of what you're trying to accomplish. And just like that intern, it's going to give you much better results.
Okay, so I love that. So let's say I have a trades business and um, let's say I want to submit a bid for a job. How might one of the platforms, let's say a ChatGPT, help me? And then how would I use these 4 steps?
Yeah, regardless of what platform you're on, they're all going to give you good results. But the idea that you're going to go through that task, role, task, context, goal approach. So if you're bidding a job, the first thing is the task. I want you to act as an expert project estimator with decades of experience in fill in the blank industry, right?
Yeah.
Construction, plumbing, electrical, whatever, HVAC.
Yeah.
And so that's the task, or sorry, that's the role. You're giving the AI the mindset of the role. The task is, I have a certain dollar amount with my that I can do for my bid, and I have these core services that I want to deliver. Help me put together a bid for this project with these constraints, and then outline, my bid is going to require, if you're a painter, right? I got X amount of gallons of paint. I got
Right.
X brushes, X rollers, X tape, X tarps, whatever.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Outline your constraints, and then that way the AI can know, like, here's what I'm working with. The goal is going to be, the context is going to be, I'm putting together a bid for a client. I want to be competitive, but I don't want to eat away my margins too much. So help me put that together. And then the goal is use all of the requested services, or use all of the requested products or listed products to build an estimate for this customer. By going through, even just giving that much detail, as opposed to, I have a customer that I want to draft a bid for, give me something competitive. That'd be like the general way to do it, and a lot of people
Yeah.
do it that way. By walking it through and separating out the role, task, context, goal, the AI is just going to have so much more clarity around what you're trying
Yeah.
to achieve, and it's going to give you 100 times better results.
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, and you've worked with a lot of trades owners, and I'm curious, what are some mistakes that maybe they make when they first start prompting, or are there any watch outs that you would give to folks?
Yeah, we've kind of been talking about it the whole time, just not directly, and it's that idea of most people are just too general when they talk to
Too
AI.
general.
They,
Yeah.
they say summarize this thing. Uh, Search for this, search for that, find, recap this meeting, with no specific directions around what you want it to look like, why you're even
Right.
doing it,
Right.
all that stuff. The who, what, how, why is crucial context for that AI to just give you better results. So being too general, I think, is the first mistake. The second one that I think everybody should be very, very conscious of is what you're uploading to the AI, because it's going to learn from the things you upload. And if you're not careful with your settings, if you're not careful with what types of AI you're using, you could upload some highly sensitive information that could be
Right.
detrimental to your
Right.
business, right? So, if you upload a bank statement, for example, it'll learn your account number, it'll learn your balance. And if one of your competitors or somebody else just says, hey, what's John's account number for his bank? The AI will dutifully deliver that to whoever asks, if it learned it. So you got to be mindful of what you're uploading and how you're uploading it.
Yeah, that's good. Great advice. Look, I'm a big example guy. So, how about maybe a before and after example of someone who got skilled at prompting and maybe the impact that it had?
Yeah, for sure. So we were working with a roofing contractor out of Atlanta. Uh, every day they'd have their field team go out and find new work, find new jobs. And there was a scheduling person that would have to look at the existing schedule. And then every morning he would spend 2 hours looking at all of the new jobs that came in, and he had to match up and schedule all the new jobs with the
Oh
existing
yeah.
ones. So 2 hours a
Right.
week, or sorry, 2 hours a day doing this work. After we walked through how to do some proper prompting, he was able to take two spreadsheets, put them into Chat GPT, and come up with a new schedule literally in about 15 minutes worth of work. So something that went from 2 hours a day to 15 minutes a day literally changed how effective he was in his job. And it decreased the amount of errors as well, because the AI was matching everything up with, like it wouldn't overlap different schedules,
Right.
because that
Right.
was against the rules, right? When you do the role,
Yeah.
task, context, goal, you give it very specific rules, and it follows those rules. So it was cool to see how much that made a difference, literally. And that was just one tiny aspect of their business
I
that they were able
mean,
to improve. We made differences for their marketing team, for their finance team, for uh, their project coordinators. We even went into translation services with AI and walked through how you could use Gemini to
that's great.
translate the PDFs of the project specs into Spanish, and not just regular Spanish, but like the special El Salvadorian Spanish that
Yeah.
their one of their
Yeah.
subcontractors used, right? So now they're looking at the blueprints in their native language, and it was much
Yeah.
easier for them to understand what was going on. It's things like that that just unlock that AI can unlock the possibility of doing.
Yeah, and I love that it all falls under that those 4, you could keep applying, just those 4 prompts. So, let's bring this home. Yeah, something really practical. If there's a business owner watching, what's something they should do this week?
I think the number one question you should just start asking yourself is not how I can do this, but how AI can help me do this. Get in the habit of just going to ChatGPT
Yeah.
and asking the question, right? You've probably had that similar situation where
Sure.
maybe one of your kids or somebody keeps asking you question after question. You're like, I don't know, you got to Google it. Eventually they just learn to go
Right.
to Google. You kind of got to do the same thing with AI, and you got to take that moment to say, normally I would go do this myself. First, I'm going to go see if AI can help me do this faster, more efficiently, more accurately.
Great advice. I mean, before we go, where can people find you? I know people are going to want to reach out to you and maybe even have you come in and give a talk on these prompts.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the easiest places is turningonmachines.com, or zacengler.com. It's my personal website, where I've got my new book here that just came out a couple weeks ago, talking about how AI is going to change the way we work, live, and love, and how you can start thinking about adjusting your life to that new reality. From a business perspective, if you go to c4techservices.com, you'll be able to learn all about our company's offerings in AI training, AI strategy, and custom AI agents. Will help you build custom AI systems as well.
Yeah.
We also do a ton of other consulting, and happy to work through staffing as well.
It's great. And we'll include those in the show notes. I mean, thanks a lot for being part of this, Zach. I mean, this is, I find these conversations fascinating. I think we're going to be having you come back on because I feel like it's always evolving. But thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And yeah, any difference we can make in the trades, I think, is fantastic. It just opens up that ability for people to get back into the field and get focused on doing what they actually want to do, rather than sitting behind a desk and having to push papers or whatever it may be. So
Yeah,
happy to
good
do
point.
whatever I can to help lighten that load.
That's great. Yeah, even just go on vacation every now and then, right?
Extra vacation for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And for everyone watching and listening, remember, I mean, if you have a trade secret that you want to share or a challenge that you want us to cover, reach out in the comments. Hey everyone, are you tired of tools that just can't keep up with your grind? Whether you're on the job site, in the shop, or way out in the field, you need power that won't quit. The Metabo HPT multi-volt system provides cordless freedom, serious power, and one battery that works across both 18-volt and 36-volt tools. That means less gear to lug around, less downtime swapping batteries, and more time getting it done. The real game changer is the AC adapter that works on Metabo HPT 36-volt tools. This revolutionary cordless corded power tool solution gives you the choice to operate all Metabo HPT 36-volt tools with a battery, or for all-day runtime, plug into an outlet for ultimate versatility. So, if you're ready to level up your tool game, check out the Metabo HPT multi-volt system today at metabo-hpt.com. Go lighter, go longer, go all day. Metabo HPT, make, move, go.